Let's see. Give it a couple more decades, and literally everybody will have that kind of problem given how everything goes through digital. I peaked at around 370 followers, and my peak viewership was around 40 followers. That leak was very yikes. I think the most viewers I've ever had at a time was something like 10 or 15. It wasn't much. And I don't expect much either. I'm just casually doing this. But I think right now I have something like 25 or 30 followers. I think. I don't know. I haven't checked it recently. It wasn't the end of the world. I streamed for a while after with no issues. I guess it depends on how much you yourself put into it. Because I ignored it entirely, and nobody who did see it never said anything. Good luck out there. Stay safe. Fly for life. Yeah. Yeah. No. Like I said, I'm just being casual about it. I don't plan on doing too much with my stream. Just kind of seeing where it goes, and if it goes somewhere, it's cool. Like, I'll put more effort into it. But as of now, it's kind of just an outlet, honestly, now that I think about it. I feel like sometimes I get a lot of energy to do something and I don't know what to do. And so I'm like, you know what? I feel like I could just sit and talk. And if people want to listen, cool. Thanks for listening. If you want to talk with me, extra cool. Thanks for that too. But if nobody does, it's okay. I'm going into a casino with $0 in my pocket. I know I'm not going to win anything. It's perfectly fine. I'm just here to look at all the shiny lights and, be part of the show, so to speak, I definitely do want to try, like, improving my Twitch stream experience, if that makes sense. Like, I've seen some other streamers who have like banners going across like the top of their screen and like flashy like moving little gifs and stuff like that, like in the corners, and it's a lot. And I'm going like, dude, is that like, is it? I meant it's not necessary, but like, what kind of work did they put in going like, I'm gonna have all this flair going on around me, and is it like a dopamine thing for people that see that? Do they go like, ooh, pretty colors, flashing lights, this aesthetic is my aesthetic, I'm gonna watch this guy, like, I wonder if that's a thing. I wonder if like what I have now isn't enough. I wonder if it's like, ooh, look, no banners, no donation links, no nothing, because I don't really care for those things. I don't know. I'm a simple guy. And don't get me wrong, like, people change. There might come a time when I might change and I might hop on that bandwagon, and soon enough you're gonna see in like big neon letters like my name like going across, or like new followers coming in, or people, donating, going off. I don't know if that'll happen. Like, I'm not opposed to change, but at the same time, it's not something I'm actively looking to do either, That's the way it should be. I never obsessed over the numbers, never went out of my way to play the game or fight for algorithm. I just did it for fun. If people showed up, great. If not, okay, yeah. And agreed. Like, that's how I feel. Like, it's nice. I'm glad to have you guys here. If you weren't here, this would effectively just be like me talking to like an audio diary. Like, dear diary, today, blah, blah, blah. And I'll save this video and I'll upload it to like YouTube or something. Because that's what I do with these castings or these Twitch streams. I upload them to my YouTube. That way I can just look back on later. And sometimes I get a good laugh out of them. Sometimes I'm like, haha, I said something silly that time. Look at that. It's more for my enjoyment than anything. If you guys are along for the ride, cool. I hope you enjoy it too. Have you ever seen those TikToks with like 3 videos going at the same time? This is immersive in its own way, though, this layout or lack of it. TikToks with 3 videos going at the same time. No, I don't use TikTok. That's another thing. I feel like I am almost effectively what a boomer is. I don't use very many social media things. I have Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Discord, Telegram. That's it. Like, I don't use Instagram, I don't use Snapchat, I don't use TikTok. I don't use any of that stuff. I know of them, I know that they exist, and I think at one point I tried to create an account on those sites or platforms or whatever, but nothing ever came of it. Just couldn't keep my attention, I guess. Which is funny because they're supposed to keep your attention. They're made to, like, grab you and pull you in and not let you go for, like, hours upon end. It didn't do that with me. Like, none of those did. Yeah. I don't know. I'm weird or something. I'm abnormal. I'm not a normal whatever I am. Well, at a certain point, you stop talking to people. They are no longer people. Chat becomes a collective entity. When you reach that level of popular, those banners and lights and shiny things are important for expressing information, since you can't just tell individual people about you and or other networks and what you're about. You'll come around. Not to be morbid, but that level of non-engagement with chat for gay people is simply not possible. That's something else I thought about too, because yes, that is a very noticeable thing. For example, I was watching one of like Jerma's streams, his live streams. He was actually live on like Twitch, and his chat is just scrolling like non-stop. You cannot read that. Like, it's just emojis and like filler and just nonsense and random stuff, and I'm going like, there's no way he can read this. Like, unless like there's a certain tool that they use where you can like highlight like a certain message. You can pay extra money. I've seen some streamers have that where like you can pay extra or pay bits or something for like a highlighted like featured text. And I'm curious if that's like the only way to do it. Or the only way to read those messages, because I was in that chat and I was watching and just looking, and I'm like, there's no way he's keeping up with this. There's no way anybody can keep up with this. That's insane. Like, I would be so far, if I wanted to go through every single message, I would have to scroll all the way to the top and just slowly read through every single one. And that would be the whole stream. It's just me reading it because I wouldn't be able to keep up with it. It would just go hours and hours and hours of just me reading just off of like chat. So that is kind of something that I did like think about and worry about too. Like, is there ever going to come a time when I'm just not going to be able to engage with the people that are in chat with me or talking to me or trying to tell me something? It's just going so fast that I'm just like, emoji, poggers, some meme, you know, I'm not going to be able to look at it. I would effectively just have it closed. You would become incredibly far behind very quickly. You would get messages, respond to something you said like 3 hours ago. Yeah, if anything, from what I've seen on Wade's stream, when he tries to keep up, and he, at the max, I think I've seen something like 80 viewers. That was because he had like a raid come in. Even then, like with only like 80 people in the stream, like he was reading through them and he was so far behind. And I'm going like, damn, like by the time he catches up, it's gonna be like 2 or 3 hours later. Like there's no way he's gonna be able to catch up with chat. At this point, he has to cherry pick whichever one. And that's another thing that I think about, and you know, too, is like, fuck, at some point I might have to cherry pick the messages that I want to respond to. And thinking about that sucks, because it's like I don't want to like disclude anybody from like, you know, what they want to say. But it might come to a point where I'm gonna be like, okay, that's an emoji, I'm not gonna reply to that. That's a meme, I'm not gonna reply to that either. That's just a silly statement someone's making. More silly statement, filler. Here's a legitimate question. Okay, I'll read this one, you know. And I hate thinking that I might have to do that at some point, is just ignore half the chat to find like that one message in there that's like, okay, I can converse with you. I can talk about something with you, you know. I don't think that's going to be a problem anytime soon for you or most people in the gay/LGBTQA+ community. There's big Twitch, and then there's queer Twitch. Yeah. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being part of queer Twitch. If I could keep it like simple like this, where I could actually talk to you guys, this is nice. This is really nice. Like I'm dreading, you know, if there ever comes a time where I'm like, okay, scroll. What did you say? Okay, that's an emoji. Like, I don't want to have to do that. That sounds like that's gonna bum me out. It's just part of the game. Oh no, wait, I missed someone. That's usually when some of the mods in the channel can reply to people. That's a good point. I guess like some mods would be, but you would have to have like mods just actively looking for like stuff that you as the streamer would want to respond to. So you would have to have mods that know you. It's just part of the game. You cannot have personal connections at that level except for your mods and your actual friends. People just aren't people anymore. They're an entity. That's interesting. I've spoken in front of like big crowds before. I used to work at a zoo, and occasionally I'd have to go out in front of like, you know, massive amounts of people and be like, you know, hello, welcome to blah, 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 you know. If you follow me this way, I'll show you to blah. You know, the lizards live in this place. The birds are in that cage. You know, stuff like that. Another thing you're going to have to face if you were to get big is that there is an innate... Sorry, let me reword this. Is that there is an innate attraction to being able to have personal conversations like this. A lot of people come into small streams specifically for this interaction, and that means as you grow, those people are going to fall off and leave despite your connections, because they're just not getting what they signed up for anymore. And that's fine too. I'm very much of the opinion that you make friends, you lose friends. That's just part of life. And online, even more so. It's easier. It's way easier to like make a friend online and lose them. That's something that I've come to accept, like, actually relatively early as a human. Also, it might be kind of a thing that's coincidental with manageable viewer counts and chats, but queer streams seem to be more about interactivity and community. Even those 200 plus viewer streams like Tyler Oakley, they still read chat and all. Audience turnover is very normal, and getting salty about it is holding something over people unnecessarily. Exactly. Yeah. I'm not gonna fret if like let's say somehow I get like 100 new watchers in like 1 hour. that'd probably be overwhelming for me, and I'd be like, whoa, where did you guys come from? Like, welcome. This is who I am. This is what I do. Don't expect a lot. Like, that's how it's gonna go. And within the next hour, they all leave. Easy come, easy go. Like, that's literally all I can say. I'd be like, I'm happy to have you here while you're here, but if you need to leave and go somewhere else, or you just don't want to be here and you don't like what I'm talking about or whatever, I'm not gonna hold you. I can't hold you here. Yeah, but I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be salty about it. That's just how it is. I have literally one friend left from my streaming days. Every other person that used to spend nights with me, I haven't heard from in years. I've seen that happen. Boy got so spooked he ended stream. It's really overwhelming. He's like, oh shit, people. I need a... Hi, everyone. No, I don't think like I said, I'm used to talking in like front of large crowds, like, and I mean large crowds, like I'm talking like hundreds plus at a time. The zoo that I used to work at was in New Orleans, and I'd have to make announcements to people, and they weren't announcements that you could just like, pull up a speaker and like say it from behind a window or in an office or some off location. No, these were announcements where you actually had to walk up to a massive gathering of just tons of people, and you had to tell them something, what was happening, etc. Boy, I remember when we had the Jaguar escape. That was fun. That was... Whew. That was not good. That was... I'm glad they fixed it. I'm glad they fixed that cage so it doesn't happen anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna say a little something here. It's on websites now. You can find it easily. When I was living in New Orleans, I worked at the zoo. The zoo, the aquarium, and the insectarium, they're all part of like one location. Sounds like a fun game of Avoid the Deadly Kitten. Yeah. So, when I worked at this location, there came a day when I was coming into work, and I was immediately stopped by one of the administrators. And he was like, don't go in. Our gates are closed right now. Like, nobody's going in right now. If people ask, just say, oh, we're just... From what I was told, we have to say, oh, we're cleaning. We're not, dealing with a deadly animal. So, I got there early. Well before the park opened, the zoo. Well before the zoo opened, I was like 2 hours early because I had to, the department I worked in. And he told me, a jaguar has escaped. We found it. We know where it is. Nobody's hurt. Well, no human is hurt. Apparently this jaguar killed animals. Well, obviously, it got loose, it saw other animals, and it did what a big cat does. It went and chased, and it killed other animals. It didn't even eat them, it just did what a cat does. It's just like, ooh, something moving. I'm gonna go swipe at it a few times. It killed our anteater, which was not good, because that anteater was, I think it was endangered? I don't know if they still are. It's been years, but... killed the anteater, killed like some monkeys, alpaca, like a buttload of chickens. Yeah, it went on like a killing spree overnight when it got out. Apparently the way that it got out was, in its enclosure, it was a raccoon that was like walking on top of its enclosure, which is a gate, like a fence sort of thing. It saw said raccoon and was like, I'm gonna go chase that. It went climbing up the fence, and it, like, the fence wall and the fence ceiling, it slipped between and broke it open, and it got out. And it just went on like a killing spree in the park while everyone was asleep. They found it the next day at like the back of the park. Like, they tranquilized it, put it to sleep, and brought it into like a holding area until they could fix that hole that it got out of through whatever. And we were told, if anybody asks, you know, why are all these exhibits closed, just say we're doing cleaning. That's it. Like, we're cleaning. Sorry for the inconvenience. You know, if you wanted to see the anteater, it's gonna be a while probably before you see it. It might not even look the same. It may not even be the same size as the one that you saw previously, but we're hoping we'll get one in there soon. Of course, sure enough, as soon as we open, had this family approach me, and they were like, is it true the jaguar got out and killed a bunch of animals? And I was like, well, okay, secret's out. No hiding it. And sure enough, we had like, you know, newspaper people were like taking pictures and like, a jaguar has escaped the zoo in New Orleans. And it's like, well, who told? Who said something? Who spoke? It's literally only been like 2 hours and already like the public knew about it. And I was like, okay, we tried to keep this under wraps. It did not work. People do have lives besides even a momentary conversation is just neat. Not everything has to be forever, nor will be. Got an apex predator roaming the grounds, and they were like, sorry sir, the ice cream machine is under your maintenance right now. You can't go see the anteater. Our ice cream machine is broken. Now I'm imagining a jaguar going to town and like a Halo announcer going, killing spree, ultra kill. At this point, that's McDonald's. Bro really told the customer his anteater went on vacation. I mean, it's like, what are you gonna tell the kids? Like, you're not gonna tell the kid like when their pet goldfish dies and it goes belly up. You're not going to tell them they're dead. You're going to go, oh, he's napping. He's just taking a sleep. And then you wait for them to go to school. You flush that motherfucker. And then you go to PetSmart and just get them a new one. And bring it home. And, like, they don't know. They're going to come home and be like, oh, look, he's awake. Yeah, he's awake. Let's not forget to feed him this time. Because he was a little sleepy last time. Oh my god. Dude, I've straight up had to... And don't get me wrong, sometimes it bothers me when I have to do this. But I've straight up have to lie to people sometimes. Like, I have to. I don't like it. Sometimes I do, but not often. No, I don't like that I have to lie to certain customers. He just had low iron, don't think about it. Yeah, he's just iron deficiency. He was sleeping it off. But no, I'll never forget one particular time I had to lie to someone. And I thought about it later on, and I was like, whoa, what if that person legitimately got hurt? Okay, so, context here. Back in Texas, when I used to live in Texas, I was working at a restaurant. And at this particular restaurant, we served steaks, primarily. It was a steakhouse. This one woman came in, sat at one of my tables, and she ordered a steak. She ordered, like, her sides and everything, and she wanted a salad. She wanted a salad specifically with Lite Ranch dressing. At this steakhouse of fried foods and, you know, heavy calorie stuff, we don't have Lite Ranch dressing. We have regular ranch dressing. Well, I let her know. I say, you know, I'm terribly sorry, ma'am, but we actually do not have Lite Ranch dressing here. We have regular ranch dressing. She looks me dead in the eye and says, "No, you have Lite Ranch dressing." "No, I'm sorry, we do not." She, again, just maintains eye contact with me, and she's the entire time going, "No, you do have it. I came here last week with some friends and I got it. You have Lite Ranch dressing. Can you go check?" "Sure." And at this point, I'm questioning myself, and I'm going like, do we have ranch dressing and or Lite Ranch dressing and I just not know about it? Like, is there like secretly, is it being held like bogarted somewhere that I just don't know? I go into the kitchen, I look around, I even ask the cooks, the chefs, the preppers and everything, and I'm like, do we have Lite Ranch dressing? Do we have Lite Ranch dressing? Does anybody know? "No, we don't have Lite Ranch dressing. We don't. We've never have. Like, ever since we've opened, we've never had it." "All right, well, let me go tell her." I go back out and I say, "No, I'm terribly sorry, ma'am, but we don't have Lite Ranch dressing." And she gets upset. And she's like, "Okay, so you do have it. You do. I know you do. I got it last week with my friends. You have Lite Ranch dressing." And at this point, I'm like, okay, your tone is changing. You're getting mad. Give me a sec. I'm gonna go double check. I'm gonna do the mythical double check in the back. That no employee ever does. I go into the back and I come up to one of my other waiters at the time, and I'm going, okay, so this lady is convinced that we have this stuff here that we don't. What do I do? And she goes, just give her ranch dressing and tell her it's light. Can they tell the difference? And she said, not unless they're like really good at, they have like really sensitive taste buds. Most people can't. They do it all the time. And I'm going like, okay, maybe I should. Maybe I'll try that. Maybe that'll make her happy. I go into the back. I get her a salad. I put regular ranch dressing on it. I bring it up to her, set it down. She takes a bite. And she immediately goes, this is regular ranch dressing. I asked for Lite Ranch dressing. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I must have gotten them mixed up with the bottles, And at this point, I'm just making shit up. I pick it up. I go into the back, set it in the fridge for a little bit. And I kind of wait around a little bit. And then I just take it back out. I bring the same exact bowl right to her. And I said, here you go. I am terribly sorry about that. I got the bottles mixed up. This one's Lite Ranch dressing. She takes a bite of it. And she's like, thank you. And I walk away and I'm like, what the fuck? She believed me. Oh shit. Do people just believe you if you're like super confident about this? And that was like a whole new superpower that I just learned that day. And ever since then, and she came back multiple times because she was a local. She came back quite a few times. She kept doing the same thing. I just kept giving her regular ranch dressing. She never found out. She was convinced that it was Lite Ranch dressing, which is probably what happened the previous time she came. Was another server probably just went, sure, here, it's Lite Ranch dressing. It's have at it. And she probably had just been tricked into thinking that it's Lite Ranch when it's actually just regular ranch dressing. So yeah, I found a superpower that day, which was just, if you're confident enough, people will believe you. And you can literally serve them something completely different. As long as you go, no, this is what it is. I'm 100% confident. This is what it is. Okay, sure. And don't get me wrong, after that, there some time had passed and I thought about it and I'm like, fuck, what if she had an allergy? I gotta be careful with this. I can't do this around people who have allergies, because I could probably kill someone. So I got into the habit of asking, do you have a food allergy? Do you have a food allergy? Because something else that I had learned, that if you run out of a certain thing, you can probably substitute it for something else very similar, as long as they're not allergic to it, and they won't know the difference. And that was one of them. All right, let me see. What y'all say? Does this sound like a gayer version of Tiger King, or is it just me? Tiger King? What is Tiger King? What if HBO's the other two was... Wait, let me read this again. I'm having a stroke. What if HBO's the other two was about a zoo? I'm assuming the other two is the name of a show. If it is, I've never heard of it. One time when I worked at the grocery store, I had a customer ask me to check the back for something we definitely didn't have, so I told him we don't have it. I'm literally stalking right now. I know what's going in this aisle. And man tries to tell me, "Oh, I used to work here." I hate when people do that. When people pull the either "I used to work here" or "I currently work here" or the "I know the manager slash owner." Like, I hate when people do that. I'm like, okay, you're gonna be a problem today for me. Here we go. Anyways. And the man tries to tell me, "Oh, I used to work here." I know that's not how it works. Brother, we literally do not have what you want. I cannot help you. I've had moments where I've told someone that too. Like I used to work at Kohl's. And someone was asking if we had some sort of tool. I forgot what it was. It was like he was asking for like a welding tool, and I was like, "This is a Kohl's. We sell like duvets and suitcases. Like we don't sell welding tools here, sir. You need to go to like an Ace or a Home Depot or some special tool place. We don't sell those here." And he was convinced that we had that, and he said, "Can you check in the back?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll go check in the back if that makes you happy." And I just went to the back. I went into the break room. I grabbed like a little cookie and I just started eating it because we don't fucking have like welding rods there. What the fuck? I was like, "Where are you getting this info from, dude? What's on? Am I being punked right now? Where's the cameras? Like seriously." So I just stood in the back and like I was just like eating a cookie, and I finished and I just went back out. And I was like, "I'm so sorry, sir. We actually do not have that item here. You should try looking at a Home Depot, a Lowe's, or even an Ace Hardware store. They might, if they don't have it, they may be able to tell you where to go and find this item you're looking for. Unfortunately, we don't have it here. I'm terribly sorry. Have a good day." And that's what happens with these people. You tell them no, and they like want confirmation, and you can say no again, and they will stand there staring at you like they do not understand what that means. "She's not a true ranch dressing stan. A true diva would have a bottle of Hidden Valley on her at all times." I used to have a coworker at the theater I worked at who had just a small little bottle of sriracha sauce that she just kept, and it was like on a keychain, and she just kept it with her. Anytime she'd eat food, she just like put it on everything too. Like she put it on like popcorn, she would put it on like her tacos, her burgers. She put that shit on everything. She came prepared. She didn't need to ask for it. She just had it. "Not unless they're a calorimeter? I'm assuming someone who counts calories. A real diva would also clock a light sauce versus a fully bodied one." Yeah, I feel like you can kind of tell the difference between light and just regular ranch dressing, because I have tried both before, and I do feel that there is it's noticeable. Then again, I have like very sensitive senses like that, whereas you can hand it to like some dude who drinks nothing but like black coffee and like well done steaks, and he'll try both of them and be like, "Man, I don't taste a difference," because their taste buds are just fucking shot, dude. Let's see. I've had a customer do that too. Complain to get something that she couldn't tell the difference of. She ordered her sandwich made a specific way, and I made it that way, and she brought it back, told me that it was the worst sandwich she had ever had in her entire life, and that I needed to remake it. So anyway, I went back to the station, rewrapped the same sandwich, and she was happy with it. Yeah, sometimes you just do that, and it works. Like, 9 times out of 10 it works too. It's just this like satisfaction feeling that they want, like they need like confirmation, like they don't, it's I think it's a trust thing. I think it's because they don't trust that you've made it right or that you did something right, and so they're like, I need to see you do this again. And it can be the same exact thing, and you maybe just wrap it in a different wrapper or something, you hand it back to them and they're like, thanks, this is much better, and they leave, and they have, you know, they're just stupid like that. I don't know. The only tool that we have here currently is you. The turntables. That's a professional. Sorry, sir. The only tool we have right now is you. Oh gosh, what was another thing that I had happen? I'm trying to think of like another one that I had at one point. I had some silly nonsense happen at Kohl's. God. Oh, here. So when I was working at Kohl's, I don't know if they still have this policy or whatever, but it was basically a never say no policy. This lady came in one day and she had like a basket mountain high with just clothes. She brought it from outside. It wasn't stuff that she was shopping for inside. She brought it from outside. She came up to my register and she said, I need to return all of this. And I was like, okay, sure. You know, and I start taking some of the clothes off and I'm looking at the tags and I'm like, hold on a second. These are like Goodwill tags. These are like tags from like other stores. Like, I don't think we can refund these. And she said, okay, well, I need to speak to your manager. All right, for sure. You know, she was at least being kind of kind about it. She wasn't like, you know, I speak to your manager. No, she was like, well, I just need to speak to your manager, sir. Okay, cool. Give me 1 sec. Boop, boop. Hey, can I get a manager register 3, whatever. And eventually a manager shows up and she says to her the same thing to me. I need to return these. And the manager says, no problem. And she comes around to where I'm standing. And she goes, did you try ringing them up? And I like showed her the tag and I said, this isn't our tag. This is like a Goodwill tag. She's gotten these from like a different store. They're all like this. And she goes, it's okay. We'll take care of it. We'll do it. And I'm going like, wait, what? How? What are we going to do? Apparently there's such a thing as ghost tags. Basically, they can slap like a fake tag on it for like an estimated amount, refund her, legitimately give her money. We take that product. I don't know what they do with it, but supposedly there's something to do with insurance. I don't know if they like return it as damaged or something, but we get a payout for it somehow. I don't know how it works. That lady got left with money, and so did we. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right at all. That was something that just happened there. It was specifically at Kohl's, and I was like very confused about it. We can just take like just anybody's junk and just give them money for it. I still don't understand how it works. Scamtina bestie. Yeah, it just, that boggled my mind. I was just like, okay, I guess, like, how do we do this? And the manager straight up told me, like, you know, if it's a tag that's not ours, you do need to get manager approval, because they are the ones that have to make, I guess, the judgment on how much it's worth. I don't know. Because I was looking at it and I'm like, this, I don't even know what to begin to price this at. Oh my god, another thing I just remembered. So at my, no, not at my current place, at my not current place of work, it was probably the first week of me working there, and I didn't know how to use any of their systems, like any of their cashier or cash registers or anything like that. Their scanning process, tags, untagging stuff. I didn't know how to do any of that. So, it's busy. It's around Christmas time, and they needed help on the registers. So they pull me from the back where I'm originally working and they have me go up to the front. I don't know how to use these cash registers. I know how to use other like systems, but these were particularly old and out of date. And I'm like, I don't know how to do this. And they left me by myself. And I got to a point where I tried scanning a few things. Sometimes it would show up on the screen, sometimes it wouldn't. And if there was something that didn't have a tag on it, I would guess. I would look at it and I'd be like, $3? And like the person was like, yeah, like, you know, it was probably worth like way more than that. But I was like, I don't know how much these are, and I'm calling for help on my radio and nobody's answering, so you get this expensive thing for $3. Here, have fun, you know. And I'd give it back to them, and I just manually enter like $3 general sale or whatever on the system. And everyone was lining up at my cash register because I didn't know what the fuck some of these were. I remember at one point, I just remember like looking into like someone's cart and just seeing the stuff that they had in there. And I was like, fuck, that's a lot of stuff. I don't think I'm going to have time to like do any of this. And they don't want to use the self-checkout lanes. So $20? Yeah, $20. I'll tell you for $20. Here's your receipt. Here you go. It's probably worth way more than that. But another thing that happened was this lady came up and she had her phone in her hand. And she goes, sir, I have a coupon on my phone. And I was like, cool. I remember vaguely hearing how to do this. I remember hearing that we have to scan it. Well, the little scanner is permanently fixed to the counter. You can't remove it. Or so I thought. So she's holding her phone like this with the barcode on it. And she's holding it like that. And so I grab the scanner. Sorry, it's like back here. So I grab the scanner and like I brute force just break it. I broke it. I broke it off its little thingy that it was attached to. And it snapped loudly and it scared her. And she was like, you know, she like jumped back. and I scanned it. I was able to still scan it because the wiring was still in there. But I just basically just broke it. I like effectively what I had done was I had taken something's head and just snapped it and turned it a full 180. That's what I did with this little like scanner. I just broke it, turned it so that it could face her phone and scan, and it just kind of hung there loose. And she was like, whoa, are you good? Like, she was looking at me like, what the fuck? And I didn't think at the time, because I'm stupid, I didn't think about just grabbing her phone and bringing it around and scanning it on the other side where, you know, I could scan it. I didn't think about that. I didn't want to touch her phone. So I broke company property to scan someone's coupon. Needless to say, she looked a little intimidated after I did that, and I wasn't being like aggressive or anything. I was just trying to get this thing to work because I didn't know how to work it. Ever since then, I have not been called back to the cash registers for help. They have not done that. Probably likely because they know what happened. If you go to that particular store, it's still broken. It is still there. It's still like hanging, kind of. It's like it doesn't go back inside its thing anymore. So yeah. Oh, a PS5? Yeah, probably $17, somewhere like that. Sure, why not? Feeling generous today. I'm in a good mood. Yeah, no, if you find me like at a store or something that I'm working at, I'll probably just like I'll estimate it, as long as it doesn't have a tag. If something doesn't have a tag on it, And if I can't get a hold of like management, I'm not going to keep you waiting there because I don't like waiting there. And I've got a long ass line. I'm going to guess. And I'm going to guess low too. Like if something looks like it's like $20, I'm going to be like $5. I bet the new employee asks about it during training sometimes. Likely, yes. Probably going like, why is this thing's head hanging like a chicken that like got its neck snapped? Like that. It's because of me. But I mean, hey, at least I don't get called up to the front anymore. So it kind of worked out, I guess. Oh man. Good times. Okay, it's going on the 2-hour mark of me streaming. It's almost 8 o'clock. I might end stream here shortly. They probably tell them that's what happens when you tell a customer no and they get angry. Yeah. No, there was no one mad that day. Nobody was getting angry. I just legitimately couldn't figure out how to take the little... It does, I actually later on found out you can remove it. You can take it out of its little holder. But you have to like push like a button on the base and it like unlocks something and you can slide it out. I didn't know this. Nobody told me. And so I didn't want to just grab this lady's phone. So I just went and just, boop, there you go. Got it scanned. Oh, look at that. You saved $2. This thing probably cost way more than that. It's okay. Another thing about that particular location, one thing I had to get used to very quickly was the amount of theft that you would see there. And it was no joke. People steal from that store like all the time, every single day. It's a daily thing. And you have to just get to a point where you just go, it's not my money. It's not my problem. Like, you're not supposed to engage. You cannot go after anybody. And second of all, I ain't being paid enough to go after anybody, even if they did tell me, like, you have to stop them. I'd be like, good luck. I'm not going after them. I'm not risking my life for like $5 worth of like pencils. No. But yeah, it is like company policy. We're not allowed to go after like thieves. Like, we're not allowed to search anyone's bag or anything like that. If they steal something, they steal something, and you just gotta let them go. Like, that's just how it is. So that's been interesting, because originally I'm very much a person that's like, if that's wrong, I'm gonna call you out on it and I'm gonna say something. I had to learn to let that go like real fast. Yep, this is the same CEO that just made my year's salary in 20 minutes. They can have those toothbrushes. Yeah, I don't care. They can have them. They probably need them more than I do. Happens when yeah. But that's, it's weird. I mean, now it's normal. Now I'm numb to it now. If I see someone like stuffing their bag with stuff, I'm just like, I'll try and keep inventory of what's gonna be missing, but that's as far as it goes. Like, I'm not gonna walk up and be like, hey, stop that. No, I'm just like, I'm not even gonna engage, because you don't know if these people are crazy. You don't know if they're gonna like whip out a gun and be like, get the fuck away from me, Particularly in some countries, it's literally just a matter of personal safety. Yeah. And it is, yeah. That's definitely my own personal safety. Like, I feel, for me, you'd have to pay me a lot of money to go chase down someone that is potentially dangerous. Like, especially when we're unarmed. Like, we don't have anything to protect ourselves with. We don't have anything to like control someone like that. Like, that's not something I'm willing to do without being paid or given proper like protection, training, etc. Yeah. Confronting customers could put you in a situation where you feel like you're in a zoo and there's an apex predator on the loose, and you just gotta tell everyone around you that the ice cream machine is down. Yes. When in doubt, the ice cream machine's down. I think I might make that my slogan. Sorry, everybody. I gotta go. I gotta end stream right now. Ice cream machine is down. I'm sorry. I gotta go. See y'all later. Bye. I think I might do that. My ice cream machine's down. I gotta go work on it or something. I don't know what people do to those things. McDonald's doesn't fix theirs. Don't sue me, McDonald's. Okay. For realsies, though, it's not very late, but still, I feel like I'm kind of like winding down. I don't really know what to do right now, and I gotta like work on that configuration with my tablet. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this. So I might take some time to work on that. I don't believe him. There's probably a jaguar on the loose in his room. Closest thing I have to a jaguar is Meow Wolf. The Meow Wolf. But that's about it. Anyways. Yes, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and stream for now. I'm gonna upload this because this was fun. I'm gonna upload this to my YouTube channel. Had a lot of fun talking with y'all. This was interesting. This was fun. I'm repeating myself. Oh my god, speaking of repeating myself. Before I go, one more quick little story. I recently went to this place to go check out some equipment for our telescope. There was a guy there. Super nice guy. Really, really nice. Very knowledgeable with what he was talking about. But my god, could he talk and talk and talk, and he kept me like in place for like an hour of him just talking to me. He was talking to me about something that I have like no clue what the hell's going on with. Like his mental like level of product knowledge, you know, with the said thing that I was interested in was like sky high. And meanwhile, I'm like a little ant just learning about, you know, the possibility of something being this big and extravagant, you know, realization. And he was sharing so much information. I was like zoning out in front of him. I had no idea what the fuck he was talking about, and he kept talking and yes, and they did it in a really sweet voice. Yeah, he was a really nice guy. And I started getting frustrated because I'm like, okay, I want to leave, but I don't want to be a dick to this guy because he seems like he's really cool, he's really nice, and he knows what he's talking about, and he's really, really passionate about it, and I don't want to just be like, okay, that's enough, I gotta go. Like, and don't get me wrong, sometimes you gotta do that, and with some people, I might do that, depending on how their attitude is, but this guy was, like, genuinely, like, really, really nice and knowledgeable, and, like, I felt bad. I was like, I don't want to just leave in front of him while he's giving me the spiel. But by God, was it a spiel. Oh my God, it went on, and I'm standing there and I'm like, wow, yeah, you know, I'm doing that with him, and he wasn't, I guess he wasn't getting the hint that I was quite done with the conversation. He just kept going and going and going, and I let him. I stood there and I just kept listening to him like, yeah. Sounds like he was just lonely. I'm like that too. Sharing information can be a love language. I thought about that too. I was like, man, maybe he just needs someone to talk to, and that's also what made me feel kind of bad about it because I was like, fuck, like maybe he's just like work. This place that he calls work is probably like his only like social outlet. Like, fuck. But it was literally one of those things where like we walked in and he just immediately like beelined straight to us and was like, I gotta talk to you guys, and it was okay, here we go. And wrap with, and do you have TikTok? Maybe you should have one. No, he was pretty old. I'm pretty sure he still had like a flip phone. I don't know. But yeah, I think he just wanted somebody to talk to. And I thought about it. I got frustrated. I got legitimately frustrated with it because I was like, man, like I couldn't just say no and like walk away from him. And I hate that I couldn't do that. I hate that like he was such a nice guy to me that it kept me from like leaving. Like it kept me from being a mean person because I really wanted to just walk away from him so badly. Old people are glued to their phones like everybody else. This is true. Okay, for realsies. Oh, don't hate that. It's really sweet. Thank you. I don't know. I feel it's kind of like a flaw where like if someone's genuinely like, you know, genuinely really nice to me, I will sit and listen to them until like my ears bleed. Like, and that's something that I'll just do, and like I will make myself uncomfortable. I started getting like dizzy because my knees were locked and like I was getting like nauseous. Like that's how long I was standing there listening to this guy just not moving. And anytime I tried to like walk somewhere to kind of hint like, oh, I'm gonna go look at this, he would just follow, and I'm like, oh, you're coming along with me, cool. Yeah. You got something to tell me about this too? All right, here we go. Buckle up. But yeah, no, I'll do that sometimes. Like, hell, like we would even have like people that would come like knocking on the door. Not here at this place where I live, but at one point when I lived in New Orleans, somebody came knocking on the door, and they were one of those people with like the little pamphlets, you know, the like the watchtower or whatever it's called, or the tower. It was like the Jehovah Witness things. And like she was talking to me and talking and talking and talking, and I just stood there and I was just like listening to her. Like I don't remember a word she said. I literally have zero idea. And like as soon as she was done, like I just like I was like, okay, thank you, and I just like, you know, closed the door and I just threw the pamphlet away and I just went back to what I was doing. I have no idea what she was talking about. From a nice place, I would not hesitate to get away though. Use your customer voice. Use your voice, Lameo. I've been mistook for customer service hotline automatic answering machine. When I used to answer like the phones at the theater I worked at one point I had somebody that called, and I remember she specifically was like I answered and I said, let me get up close. Hello, thank you for calling the Magnolia Theater in McKinney, Texas. How can I help you? Like, and I said it like that, and this lady was like, talk to a representative! Talk to a representative! And I said, yes, ma'am, you are speaking to a representative right now. How may I help you? And she was like convinced that I was like a robot or something. You're supposed to say, put me on the... I would probably be fooled too. Do I really sound like an automated system when I do that? You're supposed to say, put me on the do not call list. They're instructed to insist and repeat until you wear down. They will talk to you literally all day if they can. They gotta, but they got a list you can get on where they leave you alone. Oh, really? You're solve this captcha. What's 2 plus 2? Pickle. You have a certain, I don't know how to say that. Timbre of voice? Timbre of voice? Timbre. Let me look that up. That's a SAT word. Let me see. Give me a sec. What does timbre? That's the first time I've heard that. We didn't learn that in high school. The character or quality of a musical sound or voice as distant from its pitch and intensity. Trumpet mutes with different timbre. Okay, how do you pronounce this? Let me see.
Timbre.
Timbre. Okay, so it's pronounced with like an A, even though it's an I. Timbre. I have never heard that word before. Look at me, I'm learning something today. How many images or staircases are pictured here over the phone? Yeah, well, if I look back here. That's interesting. I wonder, okay, so Nightly, I'm curious now if maybe the way that I was speaking into the mic the other day when I was streaming with Wade when we were playing Helldivers, and somebody said I sounded like James Bond, and I'm like, I do not sound like James Bond. Like, they were like, oh, you sound like James Bond. I was like, which one? And first of all, what? No, I do not sound like James Bond. You could do ad reads for like a young and spunky company. Ad reads, ooh. That's interesting. Ooh, man, that's kind of, now that's like something that's getting me kind of like, whoa, that's kind of crazy to think about. Like, if I did ad reads and my voice was just out there in the world, like for people to listen to, that would be crazy. It might also be a thing with like mic proximity, mic settings, putting it on and adjusting a little, etc. All I did was I just spoke a little closer into the microphone, like so. That's all I did. Like, and I kind of just adjusted my voice a little. I don't know. But ad reading, that's hella interesting. The person, London, the King's Crossing station, I think that's what it is. The voice that you hear in the announcement that says like now arriving, you know, that voice, the one that reads out the schedules and stuff like that. It's done by like a little old lady that lives in a cottage, like in the middle of like bumfuck nowhere on like a grassy knoll, like in a forest. And they send her a script and she just does like a recording of it, and then she sends it back to them, and that's her voice, like that little lady. And when she speaks like in person, like when you listen to her, you're like, you sound just like that announcer up there. Like, whoa, you have a very recognizable voice. It's really interesting. I love hearing about that. Also, I think the voice of Siri, there's a lady that does Siri's voice too. Is that James Bond I hear? Yeah, that could be you. That's mind-boggling. It's funny, like the other day I was playing Critter Cove and I was trying voice acting with it. It wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. I was like embarrassed as shit half the time I was doing it, but that would be something interesting to get into, is voice acting. I don't think of myself as having like a voice that's, I guess, something like that. Like, I feel like my voice is kind of strange. In fact, when I'm on the phone, sometimes if I'm speaking regularly without putting on such a voice like so, people say I sound like a woman. Like, I've had like someone mistake me for a woman on the phone. Like I was on the phone with somebody. I was like, "Thank you so much. Have a great day." And like she was like, "Thank you, ma'am," and hung up. And I was like, "Ma'am, do I sound like a girl? Does that sound like? Do I sound like that?" Because in my head, I hear my own voice as very high pitched, I guess. But then again, misgendered by a colonial woman. But then again, um, we all hear our own voices differently than from what it's actually spoken. I know when I was doing my test, like my streaming test or whatever for my audio, I recorded a small bit just so that I could hear what it sounded like. And I listened to it and I was like, is that me? Holy shit, I sound way different than I think I sound. Billions of projects out there. Doesn't matter what your voice sounds like there's someone out there that needs exactly that. That's wild. That's wild to think about. You got me thinking now. I'm like thinking about that shit. I'm sorry, I like zoned the fuck out there for a second. Huh. Misgendered Franco. That's funny. Holy shit, you guys. Okay. I know I said I was gonna like log off or stop stream a moment ago, but okay, I've got a second wind. Last night my husband and I were watching Medea's family reunion. We were watching Medea's family reunion. And hang on, not even as in exactly like that, but like there's just a variety of like characteristic kinds of voices that are sought out. Well, I'm glad that I have one of those voices. I know my voice is very strange. My voice is very weird, especially like if you're listening to me in person. Actually, as in actually that. Never mind. Anyways, stop derailing me. So last night, my husband and I were watching Medea's family reunion. Yeah. And towards the end of the movie, I'm gonna spoil this for you if you haven't seen it and if you plan on watching it. There towards the end of the movie there is a wedding scene. This wedding scene is kind of creepy because they hire this like wedding planner that tries to make it look like Paris, and she has actual people, like live actors that are dressed as angels hanging from the ceiling. And as they're hanging there, they're hanging with their heads like this, and they're looking down at the people, and it looks like they're like hanging by their necks. Like, it looks creepy. We're watching this scene. Obviously the movie ends and we come to a point where we're talking about it, and my husband says, if we did something like that, like, and I started questioning him, and I said, what if I planned this wedding because this is something that I really wanted, and you saw me at the end of the aisle standing at the altar, you would not walk up to me, would you not? And he said, I would probably look in and just close the doors. And we started laughing and talking about this, and we started getting to like planning what our wedding would be like. Long story short, my husband and I had a courthouse wedding. It wasn't anything special. We didn't want anything special. We just wanted to just have it legally done and performed. And we did, and it was great. Afterwards, we went to Dave & Buster's, played some games, we went home, we had some pizza, and watched Netflix. And that was it. It was a great day. It was really fun. I will never forget it. It is very unforgettable. Anyways, so we start planning this, and we go, okay, so I think, like, our version of what we would want for, like, a reception, a wedding reception, we'd have like an entire dance hall like reserved for us, and it'd just be he and I. Like, we'd walk in, we'd go to like the caterers, and the caterers are probably going to be there, you know, with all this food, and they're going to be like, oh, here come the two grooms, and like they serve us, you know, food or whatever, and we go and we sit down, not even at like the groom's table or the married couple's table. We go and sit somewhere like off to the side where like the air conditioner is hitting because it's comfortable for us. And the caterers are probably going to be standing there like looking around, wondering like, where is everyone else? Like they have family, right? Like they ordered all of this. They have like where's everyone? And there's going to be, you know, live music. There's going to be musicians playing or a DJ or something, and they'll be playing like what we want them to play on loop. And so we'll be like the only ones there. And then we thought about like, oh, okay, well, what if we did invite them in and people started coming in? And I said, you know what I would do? I'd have a piñata. And I would stuff it full of lime hot Cheetos. And that way, like when the kids break it open, you know, just hot Cheetos fall on the ground. Not bagged, no, just hot Cheetos just stuffed inside there as is. And I might throw in like a praying mantis nest. That way, like the praying mantis come out as well. And like we were just cracking up and thinking about this stuff, and it's like, well, what would that symbolize? And I was like, well, I love lime hot Cheetos. I would love for other people to experience this. And then we also got onto a bit of talking about like, well, oh no, I asked him, I said, okay, so I would probably have mine like come pre-coated with ants. So my hot Cheetos would come pre-coated with ants. Snack-based identity. Yes. My hot Cheetos would come pre-coated with ants. If you've never seen what a hot Cheeto looks like with ants like swarming all over it, it looks like someone took a hot Cheeto and like seasoned it with Taijin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Chili powder. That's what it looks like. And he was like, I've never seen that. I showed him a picture on my phone. And we're just thinking about like all these like possibilities. So we're sitting at this table and someone comes up to us and gives us like, you know, the microphone and says, you know, here, you know, say something nice or whatever about your wedding. When we say something nice, I hand it to him. He says something nice. We hand it off to someone else who's sitting next to us. And then we just get up and leave. And everyone's still there. And we say, you know, okay, everybody, you know, have fun. Party's here. Take pictures, etc. We gotta go 30 minutes. We've got 30 minutes before the Deadpool movie starts. Have fun, everybody. Bye. And we just leave. And we lock the doors. And it's now an escape room with all of our family just trapped in this, like, hot Cheeto on the ground, ant-covered, mantis-infested room. There's, like, a tray of beans that's not actually beans. It's like hot chocolate with, like, cocoa beans in it. Just very absurd shit. There's balloons all over the ceiling, and they all have like a little machine in them that my husband has made that they all go off at the same time, and a little needle just pokes all the balloons at the exact same time, and glitter just falls on everyone and everything, and it's like in the food, it's like everywhere. And the whole thing is like an escape room with just our family and friends that are trapped in a dance hall. And they have to find a way out. Meanwhile, we're off watching like Deadpool. That was like our idea that we had, and we're like, we want that. That would be fun. Hakeem, yes, you said it right. Thank you. You spelled it right, or spell pronounced. A praying mantis is an awful symbol in marriage. Your fiance looks at you. What are you foreshadowing here? This is true. Well, see, for me, it was more like the little hands that they have like this. I look like a rabbit doing this. Fuck, I'm not gonna do that. Or wait, no. Do rabbits do this? No, horses do this, right? I think that's what that's like a horse thing. It's like a pony play thing. I'm not into that. Why am I doing that? Get one of those little machines that beeps at random intervals and hide them throughout the room. Yes. That was another thing I thought about, was like putting like a key somewhere up high that someone has to reach, and they go to like reach and like grab it, and just like a swarm of house centipedes just like starts crawling on them. We have house centipedes here. It's like memorable to us. That's a thing. That was another thing that I thought about too. Man, so many possibilities for that wedding. We want our wedding to be memorable like that. Like absurd, like just crazy, not like, oh, how sweet, how adorable, look, they're holding hands, they're cutting the cake. No, we don't want that. We want like them to come in and it just be chaos, like, and it'd be like, what's happening, like, what's going on here, like, why is Tame Impala on repeat, like, from the DJ? Why are these beans chocolate? Have Dorian Electra at your way. Oh my god. But yeah, oh, and the piñata. The piñata's gotta be like a Dora the Explorer piñata too. I don't like Dora the Explorer, that's why. It's full of ants and Cheetos, hot Cheetos, lime hot Cheetos specifically. Not Tame Impala, that's crazy. That one Tame Impala video that's actually about a wedding. Yeah. So, what else? What else? Like, I think something that like, one of the main reasons why I picked specifically hot Cheetos with lime, the lime hot Cheetos, is because I love lime hot Cheetos. I have found out that a lot of people do not like lime hot Cheetos. They really like the original, the one without lime. I love the lime hot Cheetos. And nothing would make me happier than seeing like kids beating at Dora the Explorer and then hot Cheetos just pouring out, and they go to grab like a fistful of it and they start eating it, and they're like, ew, it's lime. It's the lime ones. Ew. And they just, yeah. And then on top of that, they're eating ants too. Really will lift the spirits up. Fuck. The idea of just going to a city hall and then bar hopping kind of appeals to me. Yeah, like that's effectively what we had done. We went to this like court, effectively this little courtroom, and we got our marriage license. Like we got like our paper signed and everything. They did the whole like, will you marry blah blah blah, will you marry blah blah blah, I now pronounce you blah and blah. And it was over. It was nice. We took like pictures, like just with he and I, and then like a little video. And then after that we went to like Dave and Buster's, spent some time there, played some games, went home, ordered some pizza, Costco pizza to be exact, and then we just watched movies on Netflix together. Like we sat on the couch and we just kind of held each other and we just hung out, and it was memorable. I will never forget it. It was so much fun. It was great. We don't need like a giant grandiose, chapel, wedding bells and dresses and tuxes, and we don't need anything like that. We didn't want it. My mom was pissed because she didn't get to come to the wedding, and we didn't really tell anybody about it. There was only like one or two people that knew that we were getting married in our whole family and friends group, like, and that's it. That's it. We didn't tell anyone. We didn't want it to be a big spectacle. It was small, it was for us, and it was perfect. 100K steps in at least. Are you having your wedding like on track and field or something? I just realized something. My husband's watching the stream right now. Walking around the city like, why is America's Funniest Videos like soundtrack playing? What the fuck is this? Okay, weird. Walking around the city like the most annoying people on earth would also be neat, yes. Oh, speaking of, I don't know if you were here for it, but there was at one point when I spoke about this. So, this is Casa Bonita. Casa Bonita is an amazing restaurant that's here in Denver, Colorado. This is the arcade card. It's nothing special. It just holds your credits and, you know, you put money into it and you can swipe it to play games there. Well, my husband and I are in the Founders Club, the Casa Bonita Founders Club. It is an exclusive club, specifically for those who made reservations at Casa Bonita before their official opening. What this entails is a shiny new card. I don't have it yet because it's coming in the mail. But man, we're gonna walk around town like sporting that thing. Like it's our platinum business titanium card or whatever. I said specifically what I want to do. I want to go to Costco. And I'm gonna like whip out. You know how at Costco they check your membership card? They make you like go up and like show them, or they make you scan it at the little machine thingy. So I want to go to Costco and like whip it out and be like, here you go. And then they're gonna go like, you know, oh, we need the Costco membership card, and I'm gonna say, yes, I know. I'm just showing you what I have. And then I'm gonna put it away. I'm gonna do like just an awkward sort of like stretch, look around, and then I'm gonna leave. And that's it. I don't even want to go into Costco. I just want them to see it. I just want them to see my Casa Bonita exclusive founders card. I can't wait to see what it looks like when it gets here too. I'm excited. I'm gonna show that thing around like a badge of honor, man. Have a shirt made that says "Ask me about my founder's card." Yes. I want to go to Costco, whip it out, and say, "Here you go." Oh, fuck! It's hot in here. I need to take a break. I need to get something to eat too. I've only eaten once today, and it wasn't very good. I don't think I'm going back to that place. Something else that pisses me off, man. I went to this restaurant earlier, and I was like, can I just swap out like this side for a different side? And they're like, we can't do that because that side is considered a topping. So you have to pay for it, and then we'll put it on top of your meal. We won't get rid of the other side that you don't want. And so I was like, no, I'll just eat it like this. Why is that in the sides listing then if it's considered a topping? I didn't leave a tip. You still didn't eat yet? No, I ate earlier. I ate at like... Hold on. It's around noon. It was like around noon? I don't know. It's 8 p.m. now, so... Since you don't remember when, I'll take that as a no. No, it was noon. I remember. It was noon. It was around noon is when I last ate. Um, it wasn't much though. Yeah, I gotta go eat. I'm way past what I said I was gonna be doing. Like I said I was gonna end stream like on the 2 hour mark. It's going on 2 hours and 36 minutes, 37 minutes. Whatever. Um. Okay. Get your ass off the chair and go eat something. Yes, I will, Salumi. I'm gonna go eat. Okay, for realsies. All right, y'all. I had just learned actually that our ice cream machine is broken. I gotta go fix that. So I'll see y'all later. Okay, bye bye.